Now, here's a very weird fucking thing. Most dating coaches, most guys who work in the men's dating coach industry, most guys who create dating coach based curriculums, for some fucking reason, never, ever, ever talk about fashion. I don't know why, but personally, I think the average dating coach is a fucking delusional cuck. Because when I take clients shopping and I dress them up and improve their fashion, how they look, dude, the results are day and night. If you improve your looks and your aesthetics, you are no longer fighting an uphill battle. And it's crazy because there's this saying, dress for the job you want, not the one you have. Well, similarly, you should dress for the girls you want. If you like emo girls, you should dress like an emo goth dude. If you like high-end fashion models, you should suit up every single fucking day. If you like raver chicks, you should go to raves and dress, wearing like a rave outfits and like beads and fucking like a raver guy. You know what I'm saying? If you like fucking vegan chicks, you should go to like vegan meetups and vegan events and stuff like that. And I don't know, wear like non-leather clothing and things like that, right? So it's interesting because fashion, grooming, hygiene is something literally nobody talks about when it comes to game and when it comes to day game. I don't know why. I don't know why the fuck nobody talks about this. But if you guys notice my content, if you go look at my Instagram, if you notice the way I dress, I'm always dressing exceptional, elegant, beautiful, high end. So here's what I recommend for you. You dress high end fashion, okay? That's what I highly, highly recommend for you. I highly recommend you go to stores like H&M, Zara, and you literally just go shop the pre-made outfits they have in the stores, okay? You dress to impress. You wear a blazer or sports coat. You wear dress shirts. You have a nice belt. You have a nice pair of shoes. You look clean. Your belt matches your shoes. Your belt matches your watch. You color coordinate. You have fashion aesthetics. You have high-level fashion, intelligence, okay? What I personally recommend is you hire a fashion coach or a fashion consultant, right? And you pretty much, get image consulting. You hire an image consultant and you look different. That's literally what you should do. You should look different because I'll tell you right now, the average Joe does not know how to dress himself. And what you do need to learn is fashion. Fashion is a skill. It doesn't come naturally. And what I recommend from you is you actually go out and research fashion styles. You research what celebrities are wearing. For example, I saw this man walking down the street and he looked like Future. He looked like Future, the fucking rapper. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that Future? That's not Future. Why does this guy look like Future? And he's outside the club and he's talking to girls. And I realized, what this guy is doing is he's using something called market demographics. Well, here's what he's doing, okay? He's essentially making himself look like Future because he obviously likes the girls who would probably be fans of Future. And he probably himself somewhat looks like Future anyway. So he is playing into that stereotype, right? And so, funny enough, he is going to attract the women who would never have the opportunity to meet or date or sleep with Future. But all the women he meets who are fans of Future will probably want to sleep with him or date him, right? And so, funny enough, I don't know. When I think about what celebrity or what influencer or what, type of person do I look like? I don't know, I guess like Aziz Ansari or something like that, right? The dude from Parks and Rec. So maybe a lot of the girls I hook up with are just fans of Aziz Ansari, right? But you want to play into stereotypes and market demographics. So if I look at a lot of the girls I end up hooking up with, a lot of these girls are stereotyping me. Turns out they just like Indian guys. They look like confident Indian guys. And so I'll go hook up with girls and it turns out she has like a elephant blanket in her room, or she's got like crystals, or she's got like meditation beads and all this weird fucking Eastern philosophy shit. Maybe she's a huge fan of South Asian culture or Indian culture, or like she's been to like Sri Lanka or something like that, right? And so I found like a lot of girls are even stereotyping me. Sex with me, right? Well, again, dress for the girls you want, not the ones you get, right? And so I like high-end girls. I like hot girls. I try to dress very nice, elegant, classy, dapper, okay? Dapper. I try to dress dapper. And that allows me to attract the most attractive females that I'd ever want to fucking meet. Seriously. A lot of the women I meet are fucking gorgeous. A lot of the women I meet are stunning fucking women. And the reason for that is because I dress high-end and I have effective, articulate, gentlemanly communication that allows that to be congruent, okay? So I look good, I sound good, present myself very well, and then my game's tight as fuck. So a lot of these high-end women, a lot of these attractive women fucking attracted to me, right? And so oftentimes when I'm doing day game and, I meet a girl who's a bit younger, maybe she's like 19. Well, I'll literally take off my blazer, I'll put it on my arm, I'll unbutton my shirt a little bit, and I'll untuck it, and then I kind of look more casual. And then I'll chat her up, and I'll be a little bit more, what's up, girl? How you doing? And I'll use more slang. Then maybe I'll meet up with a woman who's a artist, who has a business, who's in her mid-30s, and she's very sweet, elegant, dressed well, and we go out to dinner, and this actually happened. This is a story that happened the other day. I hooked up with this girl, then she took me out to dinner. She paid for like $150 dinner bill. We had oysters and spenna copida. It's like a fancy Greek restaurant. We had drinks and everything, and she's very elegant. She's very hot, and she charges clients $1,000+ an hour to paint as a painter. And I'll dress very articulate and suited up and very like gentlemanly and classy, and I won't swear, right? And so it's very interesting how this works, right? You want to essentially change your demographic, your fashion, your aesthetic, the way you look and the way your vibe is overall for the girl you're talking to, right? You want to play into who you're talking to. And a lot of that is in your fashion, your grooming. And you want to be well-groomed. You want to cut your fucking hair. Guys, if you look at a lot of my old content, my social media pictures, I had long fucking hair, but even right now I have like pretty fucking short hair, guys. I have pretty fucking short hair, okay? And the reason is because being well-groomed is so fucking key. It is so fucking important, and it goes hand in hand with fashion, okay? Buy accessories, things like rings. Look at this, got rings. I don't like wearing rings, but guess what? I wear it because girls like me more. I got a fucking tennis bracelet, right? I got fucking different like bracelets. I got bangles, got a watch. You can literally buy these items on AliExpress for fucking dollars. Instead of buying a $10,000 Rolex watch, you could buy a fucking cheap watch from Fossil. Instead of buying fancy VVS diamonds bracelets, you can literally get cheap knockoff versions of it on AliExpress, and it looks exactly the fucking same. You can buy these things on Amazon. You can buy a fucking Bitcoin chain for yourself, right? You can get a Burberry scarf. You can get a fake Burberry scarf. You can get fake designer shit. You can get fancy shit. It doesn't even need to be expensive. It just needs to look nice. Do you understand that? The pants I'm wearing are sexy ripped jeans that make me look like an articulate fuckboy, but they were $13 Canadian from Hot Topic, okay? The shoes I'm wearing were from Amazon. They were like $40 US, right? The socks I'm wearing were from Amazon. So it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. It's not the quality of what you're wearing, it's how you present yourself and how you look. And the trick is to actually look good, not wear expensive, fancy designer shit, but to actually look good. I had a student who actually flew in to work with me on a live coaching program on a boot camp, okay? And I remember just screaming at him, like, dude, your fashion is fucking garbage. And I'm like, dude, what kind of fucking shoes are these? And he's like, they're Balenciagas. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't even realize he was wearing $1,200 shoes. His coordination of his outfit and his fashion was so poor that it didn't even register in my brain that he was wearing $1,200 shoes. So it literally doesn't matter what you wear, it's how you wear it, okay? In the same way, you could wear literally $20 shoes and look like a fucking baller. And the craziest thing is when you look good, you're gonna feel good, and this does so much for your confidence. This does so much for your inner self. This does so much for your approach. You just feel more confident approaching. When you approach a hot girl on the street and you're dressed well and you look good and you look clean, you're well groomed, and you just look like a fancy motherfucker, and you feel amazing, and you feel like, wow, I'm wearing this nice shirt, I'm wearing this nice clothes, I'm wearing a nice watch, I'm wearing these cool rings, I'm wearing this cool bling, I'm wearing this cool chain, I'm wearing this cool scarf, I'm wearing this sexy outfit, my clothes fit tight to my body, it's snug, it's tight fit, right? It's tight fit, it's new, it's trendy, it's fashionable. I look good, you look good, and you make yourself stand out. You're wearing ripped skinny jeans. You're wearing cool Chelsea boots. You're wearing cool rings and bracelets and all these things, right? Well, what's going to happen is obviously the approach is going to go better because the girls are like, oh, cool, this guy's a cool guy. He's not just like some creepy fucking weirdo who dresses like shit. but you're also going to feel better, and that's going to come off in the approach. So the girls are going to feel like more comfortable with you. They're going to feel more intrigued by you. They're going to want to hear you out. And it's also really interesting because, you know, they're going to be able to almost see you as part of the reality, as their sense of reality. And if a woman is going to even stop to talk to you, she needs to see, like, okay, who is this guy? What's he about? And can she even see you as being part of her reality? A lot of times, guys are getting rejected before they even approach the girl because they just don't even fit the vibe of what the girl would even want in her life. Seriously. Okay? And so it's so important to have good fashion, have good grooming, have good style, have good hygiene. Smell good. Use a fancy cologne. One of my favorite things to do is take a cologne, spray it behind here, let it drip down my neck. So when things get hot and spicy, I just have that allure, that nice essence. Of a fancy, exotic cologne, right? And so it's very powerful. It's a very important thing to do. And, you know, have a nice watch. I say a watch is what differentiates a boy from a man, okay? Are you a boy or are you a man? Okay, are you a man or are you a child? It all depends on if you're wearing a watch. Okay, and a fashion is what separates an advanced, developed human being and a man from one who is not. Okay, so if you want to be seen as a man, if you want to be taken seriously, you need to take yourself seriously and take your grooming, your fashion, your style very seriously. I can't tell you how much time and how much effort and how much vision I have put in to developing what people see from my presentation. I've taken it so far to literally get cosmetic surgery even after I'd hooked up with hundreds of girls. Even after I've hooked up with hundreds of girls, I'm still changing my grooming, my fashion, my hair, my style, my beard, the things I'm wearing, like my rings, the bracelets, the chains, the scarves, the outfits, the shirts, the pants, the shoes, right? The tattoos, okay? Even things like cosmetic surgery. I went so far to get a rhinoplasty and a chin implant, even after I'd hooked up with hundreds of girls, because I wanted to see how far I could take things, okay? Even getting tattoos to make me look more edgy and out there. Now, here's the best piece of advice I can give to you. If you're kind of seen as a playboy fuckboy, dress more dapper and suited up. Literally suit and tie, okay? Clean as fuck, okay? Seriously. Maybe if you're like a tall, good-looking white dude, and girls see you as a fuckboy, then just like suit up. Suit and tie, look clean as fuck, no piercings, no tattoos, nothing like that. But maybe you're an ethnic minority. Maybe you're an Asian guy, Indian guy, Spanish dude, Hispanic guy, some sort of ethnic minority, okay? Well, here's what you can do. You can get different bracelets that kind of break your stereotypes. So instead of being seen as Rohinder from Bangalore, India, or instead of being seen as like fucking Lee from Beijing, right? Or instead of being seen as like fucking Jorge from Mexico, right? Well, now you're like this fucking cool dude. You're this cool Spanish guy. You're this cool Indian guy. Because you got the cool rings. You got the cool fucking bracelets. You got the cool chains. You got the cool scarf. You got the cool fashion. And then you got piercings that kind of differentiate you from every other fucking dude. You got cool nose piercings. Maybe you got a cool cartilage piercing. Maybe you got cool earrings. You got spacers. You got tattoos. You got hand tattoos, right? Maybe you can get neck tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got a cool sleeve. You got ripped jeans, and this kind of makes you seem more edgy, more trendy, more cool, more out there, right? Maybe you look like the girl's favorite rapper, right? In terms of fashion and grooming aesthetics. Very important, fashion, grooming. Looksmaxing. If you don't know about Looksmaxing, I wouldn't recommend you Google it. There's like these creepy, weird incel forums that talk about how you just need to be a good-looking dude. It's not like, dude, let's be real here. You can get results with or without it. But again, you don't want to be fighting an uphill battle. You want to optimize your results. You want to optimize your successes. And you want to, as effectively as possible, make yourself look as good as possible. So that way, when you meet girls, they're like, oh, well, this guy is attractive. And you want to use fashion, grooming, hygiene, your smell, your presentation of yourself, your everything, to essentially add value and, you know, I guess you could say, complement your natural aesthetic and your game and your vibe and your charisma. Okay. And that's going to allow you to be taken very, very seriously when you do your cold approach. And it's going to be allowing the women to say, okay, you know what? This guy is a cool dude. I'm going to see what he has to say. A lot of times girls will just approach you because, you know, you're good looking and well dressed. But oftentimes girls will reject you because you're not. So suit up, look good, make sure to optimize your looks, fashions, aesthetics, and literally, dude, I swear to God, you can literally wear a dress shirt and a blazer every single fucking day if you want to. Because let me ask you this. Can you ever be overdressed? Not necessarily. You could be at the beach in a fucking suit and you're the best looking dude on the beach. But can you be underdressed? Absolutely, right? You could be at a wedding wearing a fucking flip-flops in a bathing suit, right? And you're just going to look very poorly dressed, right? And so the cool thing about fashion is you can never really have too much fashion, because if you do, you're the best dressed guy in the fucking room. And therefore, you'll have one of the highest natural values in one way of looking at things. So make sure you're always well dressed, well put together, put together aesthetically and good looking. And things are going to be a lot easier for you.